Hey, everybody, welcome back to this wonderful class. Oh, yeah, you know. The three denials are pride, shame, and fear. And most of you watching know that. So we're not going to give us the trouble to. You can write it, Karunamsa. If you could write just three denials, pride, shame, fear, in the comments.
I'm gonna find you. Okay.
I'm sitting right here. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. All right. Thanks. Okay, so the denials are reflexes. We can work on ourselves a long time. We still have them. And it was Mike, I think, asked me, I forgot a question, but correct me if I'm wrong. You asked me something like, so when did you transcend all this ego thing, the arrogance, the human? And I said, that's bullshit. We don't. Basically, it sounded like that. It's we learn to recognize it and deal with it. And that was a big answer. When I feel a wave of pride, I feel it before I express it. I say, okay, this smells like shit. I'm going to be arrogant now. Let's not do that. And then I do it again. Anyway, so yeah. These forces are like, I'm going to protect my image. I'm going to be afraid that they find out. Or, it happens. But now I see it before it happens. But sometimes right after I said it, like I can say something arrogant, and my girlfriend will say, "Whoa, that was really shitty what you said." And I say, "Oh, you're right there. I get it. Let me re-express that in a way that doesn't require me insulting you." And yeah, and we have great communication because we recognize, okay, that was bullshit. I was not being cool. I still mean what I mean, but let's talk. Because usually there was, attacks is common. You've had partners in life, and you know how easy it is to blame them instead of you for your own suffering. And yeah, it happens. So even after years, you don't remove your ego, you don't kill it, you don't get rid of it, you deal with it, and it becomes so peaceful. Like in seconds, you just like stand down from the aggressiveness, stand down from the violence inside, and just, okay, yeah, my pride is being hurt right now. I admit it. Okay, instead of fight for 3 days and lose the battle anyway. Because that's usually what happens, right? You just, I'm going to be right, and I'm going to be right. Yeah, you are right. You're still the one suffering. Yeah, so what's the matter? You are right. No problem. Yeah? Let me put the phone in the... Try to angle it in a way. Yeah. All right, so we did that. We're going to do a breathing practice where we do some personal growth at the same time. Okay? So we're going to breathe. Try not to breathe through the thorax. Don't do this. To raise this, try to raise the abdomen. Don't worry. I've got a big belly. And it's my belly that we're looking at. Not yours. So what if I breathe and they're going to see my big belly? Yeah. Maybe one day you resolve your shame. Until then, just don't worry about it. Okay. So we breathe. Not fast. Let's not hyperventilate. Just breathe and relax. And do an exercise where we remember our natural reaction of denial when an event happens. We defend ourselves with pride. And do we really like it? Is it really a beautiful experience? And if you are already into the shame and the fear, well, that's your thing. That's cool. Pride is a big one. Just breathe and be honest with yourself. When I react with pride, needing to defend myself, to prove how right I am, and it's hard because sometimes you are right and the others are wrong, but you're the one stuck with the suffering. You're the one stuck with the combat. So we do personal growth not because we're right or wrong, but because we're the one hurt, because we're the one stuck with this battle. There is a way to still be right and not have the emotional battle, because your pride doesn't need to come out raging like a lion and try to destroy the face of the other. Do you have moments of aggressivity that you don't express? These repressed aggressive moments that you would love this other person to just die right now, but you're not going to do anything with it because you go to jail. Or sometimes just like a spur of violence, but you control yourself enough not to do it, but it's there, right? The anger and wanting to inflict pain. That's pride. That's an intense defensive reaction that is projected on the other, because if the other ceases to exist, I don't have to feel that way. Are you really happy when you're in reaction of anger, of aggression? Is it really cool? This exercise, and we keep breathing, not too intense, but just keep breathing in the belly. Just being honest with yourself. Do I really like it when I'm losing my shit angry? Or disappointed. Sometimes it's disappointment. A simple practice of honesty with yourself. That's what we're doing. Just to be honest enough to say, yeah. Is it cool? Is it something I want to repeat again and again? If I found a way to not have these emotional crises, maybe I would feel better in life. Because that's life. Oh, it will still come back, but instead of raging for 3 days, maybe you'll rage for 3 minutes. Or maybe you'll see it before it happens. All right. That was nice. Thank you, guys. It was not too long. It was just like a 2 minutes of, just remembering. How's life when it's stuck in a battle? How's that life? Are you ready for the next one? That's a shitty one. Okay? Even if you have a great relationship right now, I want you to go in your mind and remember the worst heartbreak of your life. Remember having a heartbreak with a lover. And just breathe. Just go into that. These emotions are still there, most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. Just have the courage. Just embrace it. You're not going to go into a crisis now. It's just stuff going to rise a bit. A heartbreak is terrible, but it's not the end of the world. But while we have it, we think it's the end of the world. We think it's the worst kind of feeling. Feel this tremendous abandonment, the rejection, sometimes the guilt. Just remember the terrible feeling. Just another 2 minutes of shit that I'm asking you to feel, just to get better in life. Remember a terrible heartbreak. And take a deep breath. And give yourself permission just to feel it. When you put all your love into someone else's hand, it's terrible when that love goes away. It is a wonderful feeling to be in love with someone, so please do it again. But if you give all your love in someone else's heart, when it goes away, it hurts. So we want to learn that through experience, not just talk about it. We want to take the time to feel it. And also, giving ourselves the chance to feel a bit shitty right now, it will ease the pain. Because our consciousness, our mind, heals. Just pay attention to the shitty feeling. Give yourself the chance. And those emotions will soften. The pain will relax. Loneliness is terrible. Being rejected is terrible. Take the time to embrace it. If we spend our life trying to flee those emotions that are stuck inside, they will run after us, give us panic attacks and nervous breakdowns and stuff like that. The suffering will get us, will hunt for us and get us anyway. So it's better to just go sink in there, feel it, and be honest. And the more we feel it, the less power it has. the softer is that feeling. And it hurts the less and less. Because all our feelings needed is to take some time to breathe in them and feel it. Simple as that. Consciousness dissolves suffering. So be conscious of it. Pay attention to it. And some of the suffering goes away. Some of it. It's not a miracle. All right, deep breath. Now we're going to do a vocal breath where you do the sound ah, okay? Ah. And a second one. Ah. For a few of you it is new. It's normal. If you're ashamed of what the others think about you, think about this. They're so ashamed of what you think about them, they don't care about you. Okay? That's normal. But doing this little breath, it lets go of stuff, right? It feels better. All right, we're done with that lesson. It was just a little dive in those emotions that are still there. Okay, let's take another example. As a child, you eat chocolate and a dark, not a dark chocolate, a bog. Yeah, what the fuck? It's the sake. There's a dog, that's the right word, that barks. Yeah. And it scares you. So then you tend to not like chocolate. Has nothing to do. Okay? But your grandma's there, she gives you strawberries. Oh, you love strawberries, right? Because how about the experiences you had in the context where you were exposed to these foods? Okay? So now you go to the restaurant and say, I'm a fully free being. You look at the menu, there's a chocolate tart and a strawberry tart. Oh, strawberries. You think you made a choice? You have a passion that rises inside that literally pushed you and imposed you like, I shouldn't, shouldn't. I have a strawberry cake, please. You know what it is? You've got this passion that is so strong and it makes you choose the thing. You say, well, I had a lot of choice to have 8 desserts here. Your emotions pulled you towards something. Sometimes you say, like, okay, let's find out. I want to discover something. But sometimes it's that passion, okay? That's just an example. Maybe the dessert example does not apply to you. But let's try to focus on that. I did not like tea. Because for me, the grandma was the old lady that comes and drinks tea and is so freaking boring. Yeah, I didn't have a relationship with my grandma. It was not this kind of thing where your grandma, you love her. No, it's like it's another person that I have to endure until she leaves. Okay, that was me, and she always drank tea. So I hated tea until I met someone that I really want to be intimate with, and she loved tea. And all of a sudden, oh well, let me try it. And I became a specialist of tea and all the oolong and the green and all the stuff. And I go to specialist shops and buy my tea 5 times the price because I want to have this exquisite imported Chinese shit. Yeah, I'm like that now. Because the latest potential was the fun I had with this girl drinking tea, and had not it surpassed the boredom of having to handle my grandma for a few years. Do you understand that? So this is a personal experience. Maybe you can relate to one of those. Okay. So these passions that rise inside, it's not just your preference for a dessert. Sometimes it's the desire to kill someone, but you won't. But it's this you know what I mean? These passions rise. So you can repress it, which is usually wise and legal. Yeah. But you have pressure when it come out, and the pressure that keeps it in because you don't want to go to jail, right? Or you don't want to be punished, or maybe you actually have a good morality and you don't want to hurt someone even if you really think they deserve it. Like, I would break their legs, but, I'm a good person. I'm just going to wish it and not do it, Because we do that. We're human, right? But you have this power coming out, this power pushing it in. What does that do? It causes pressure inside. And then one day you start to have stress, anxiety attack, nervous breakdown, depression. insomnia. And you've got contradicting pressures inside. The solution is to not want to kill the other and not want to repress what you feel. Go and embrace it. It's a shit moment anyway, might as well have it now, and then you're done. You get it. And that is why we do personal growth. Because it's better to feel it when it rises than, push on it and start to have health symptoms, like health conditions about it. Cool? Let's do an exercise. Everyone say the vowel ah, okay? Ah. All right. That's good, right? Look at what it did inside. I won't tell you what it did. Just look. How does it feel? Now we're going to do O, right? All right. Something happened here. I'm not sure who felt it, but it's more here. And the ah was more here. Okay? Mm-hmm. Good. We're going to do the consonant M. And then I'll talk more about it. Okay, M. All right. Makes your head vibrate, right? Vibration. So, it seems to be a completely different topic, but bear with me. The letter M is the experience of vibration. When we see something marvelous or big, we say, oh. O is when you get a gift. O. It's the natural sound that comes out of us when something is magnificent or big. M is a reflex when we have vibration. Okay? This is the kind of sound we do. So, the Buddhist mantra Om, Om, which means the universal vibration. It's not the universal vibration, because if you listen to the universe, it doesn't do a single freaking sound. It's simply that O is that universe we're talking about, like big, wow. And M is vibration. And this is how the Buddhist people and the Hindu before them made Om to be the mantra for universal vibration. Okay? Because it's about immediate experiences we have with those sounds. And that means Om only applies to humans, doesn't apply to cows. Because they do the contrary. Moo. It's different. Just kidding. It's a joke. Okay? Doesn't apply to dogs or cows. It's only humans who have these feelings saying these vocals. Because those other animals cannot vocalize. It's very human. When something is there, when you notice something is present, you say ah. Ah. Like, oh yeah, I found it. Ah is being present. So it just keeps you there, so you don't really feel a difference. O is bigger, and it opens here in the chest. So chanting Om, it has a health benefits because you're invoking those feelings. We're not going to chant Om today. I just wanted to explain that for the O and the Ah thing. When we recite mantras in Sanskrit, they have the effect of their vibration in how they're built. In addition to that, the meaning of those words in the Sanskrit dictionary means everything that actually mean also in vibration. So these languages were built in function of what do we experience saying those mantras, in addition to their dictionary definition. So they're very complete. That's why you say a mantra in Sanskrit or Hebrew, sometimes Aramean. There's a fourth one. There's 4 languages that are apparently built. I thought it was 2. It's actually 4. And everything else, every other language is composed, more complex. Latin stuff, it's more about the dictionary definition. Okay, you say a mantra in Latin, you need to focus on what it means. It's your mind that decides what it means. If you say it in Sanskrit, the vibration of it causes the effect. But it's not going to be automatic. It's not going to be magic. It's an influence. Okay, so when we go ha, or when we do the breath, there's a release. There's a presence, like we open up, and these emotions can flow. You can let go, right? That's why I did all of this huge parenthesis to explain this is why we did the vocal breath. Because it really soothes us when we do it. Cool? Is it interesting, all of this stuff? It's cool, huh? It's nice to learn little technicalities. See what time it is we got time. Oh my God, we got a lot of time. Let's do space-time stuff, right? Quantum physics? Yeah. After we heal that next thing. I want to come back to the words we use. I use a lot of words, and I have definitions for these words. And like this morning I said about the snow in the desert, if someone never experienced snow, and it's white cotton falling from the sky and it's cold, but when it touches you it becomes water, that's like, what the hell is that? But once someone experiences snow, it is that. So the word snow has no meaning until you have attached an experience to it. Do you understand this mechanics? A word without experiencing something means absolutely nothing. You know what a toaster is because you've toasted your own toast. Otherwise, it's just someone who describes something. And this morning we were using God as an example, like who is God? Some people are angry at God because priests rape children, but God doesn't rape children, it's humans who do that. You know, it's like you use the word God, stick it to an experience, and then it's like the grandma that gave you strawberries or chocolate. It's the same kind of thing. Okay, all these influences in life come into us and mold us. And we believe that we have free will. We often have free will, but not all the time. A lot of times, especially when times it matters, these forces rise and impose themselves to us. Okay? So we use words like love. What is love? For some, it's being a parent. For some, it's an orgasm. For some, it's getting attention. What is love? Love depends on the experiences you have of it. So I asked a guy, what is love? He says, love is disappointment. It literally threw me like, I didn't expect that one. Love is disappointment. If you love, you're broken. That's it. Love is a weakness. Like, how traumatized must you be to believe that love is a weakness? Because this is the experience he had. For him, love is like living without sex, no problem. Just give me a hug. He just wants people to touch him. That's pretty cool, actually. But yeah, the word love is one of those words that depending on what experience you have, you're going to do different. Let's use another word. The word consciousness. And now you have a lot of hippies, consciousness is all in the universe. And yeah, right, okay. Consciousness is the fact that you're not asleep. It's the fact that you're aware. That's simple. But then we make consciousness into some kind of fantastic mambo jumbo of the New Age world. Like, universal consciousness, dreams. Yeah, what is it? If you want to use the word consciousness, let's take at the base that your mind is currently not unconscious. You're not in a coma, you're not sleeping, you're aware, you're conscious. That's consciousness. Your capacity to pay attention, that's consciousness. All right? So, of course, it's confusing. Like when we felt the energy today, you use your consciousness to push that energy and you feel it in your hands. It's like, wow, I just felt my chi. I've been looking for years to feel my energy, and now, bam, you have it. Well, at one point I said it is your consciousness that you feel. Because when you throw that energy in your hands, it is your mind. I'm shooting that. And it's not psychosomatic, because someone else will feel your chi, like you feel your life force, and we're going to use it to do other phenomena that become like, this cannot be in your head. Because that's the big thing with the chi and the energy is demonstrate that it's not a fantasy in your head, because psychologically you could just imagine you feel it. Why not? It's possible, right? Until you have an objective, clear experience where people can feel energy, it could be in your head. And that's a big danger with the New Age world, the spiritual world, is that you can imagine fantasies, and I don't like fantasies. That's for movies. That's for Star Wars and Harry Potter and stuff like that. Okay? I like to have experiences where you feel it. Okay? So we're going to get there, and we're going to have a feeling. We're going to do transmigration for 15 minutes soon enough. And you're going to feel consciousness in a way that you probably did not expect. Well, except my advanced students were like, yay, not again. Yay, oh, fuck no. It's not always fun to do transmigration, right? It becomes recurrent, redundant, like, yeah, been there, done that, but it's like going to the gym. If you know how to go to the gym, you won't build muscles. You have to actually go to the gym and do it, right? So even if it, like, after 100 times it's boring to do transmigration, we're going to do it again. And the newbie is like, oh my God, I feel consciousness. And the other one's like, yeah, whatever. Teach us cool stuff, please. It's like, that's pretty cool. Oh, people online. Sorry, you can't do it. People online, I mean, if you have a partner, do it. If you don't, well, you don't. So we're ready for that? 2 by 2, everyone. Choose a partner. A newbie with an advance. If your friend brought you here, go with her. A new guy with an advanced person, 2 by 2, and face yourself. Move your chairs around. Hazlo. Buena elección. Super poderosa. All right, face yourself. Face to face. And then whoever's alone, who's alone? All right, if you're with her, face her. Carlito. Yeah, face her. You're not facing her, that's why. You have to be face to face. Seeing the energy, yay. You're advanced, right? You've been there for a while.
Not really. I don't consider advanced.
Huh?
I don't consider myself advanced.
I understand. Did you do transmigration before?
I think so. In Chiapas?
Yeah.
I did that, right?
Good enough. Good enough. All right. Choose who's number one and who's, wait, toilet time. Yeah. Okay, let's wait for someone who's coming back from the bathroom. All right. Choose who is number one and who's number two, and there's no importance. All right. If you need to talk about it 5 minutes, you are way too complicated. Just pick one. All right. So number one, your left palm will be like this, open, not stressed, but open. Pointing at number two, so number two can look at it. Number two, look at the palm of number one. All right. Marta and Ryan, do funky stuff. All right, I mean, they've done that, so let's push it. All right. Number one, your palm, you're just paying attention. Number two, look at it. Fix the center of that palm. Fix it with your eyes. Stay on it. Number two is looking. Number one is feeling. Number one, you will feel the pressure where it is. Mike, rest your arm. Rest your hand on your lap. Relax. The palm's open. The goal here is for number one, the sensitive one now, to feel just the gaze, but your eyes have to stop looking at me, all 7 of you that keep looking at me. Stay on that palm. The goal is to put your eyes there, so just the gaze will produce an experience in the hands of number one. Number two, you just look. But now, you put more power. You want it. You say, I'm looking hard. I want to be in that hand. Like if I live in that hand, I feel it. I feel that hand. I feel the bones. I feel the fingers. I feel the flesh. Yeah, I'm in there. Like you use your imagination to imagine that you're inside that hand. Now close your eyes and go there fully with your imagination. Close your eyes and go. I am in that hand right now. Bam, feel yourself inside that hand. Exist there. Be present. Use your imagination to feel that you are inside the other person's physical hand. And be there with will. Yeah, I want it. Theatralize it. Exaggerate it. And take a deep breath and relax. All of you. And now, number one will share what they felt to number two. You have 1 minute. It's strong because some of you guys online, you're transmigrating everyone. And it's very present. I like it. Thank you, whoever did it. It's pretty nice. Now the students are talking and everyone's super happy because this is a cool thing. Feel someone else's gaze and consciousness. You touch your hand and they actually feel a presence. If you're alone here, well, you can't really prove it that you had it. But you can transmigrate in a bottle of water. You can transmigrate into an object. A bottle of water is cool because then you drink the water and see if the consciousness comes back. You know, you can play. It's mostly in the mind. But these guys, it's person to person, and they're talking about it. Okay! All right. Number two, left hand exposed. Number one, you're the gazer. You're the beholder. Okay? Number two, you let yourself feel. Relax your hand. It's open enough so the other can see. Number one, focus on that hand. Focus on the palm. Be certain of it. Dedicated. You know that your consciousness is in that palm. And you give time for your partner to get a sensation of it. Get the feeling of it. And now the gazer, close your eyes and go there. Use your mind to imagine you fully go physically into that hand. And you exist there. And you just think bright light, joy, intense happiness. Just be there. Feel the presence. Take a deep breath and relax. Relax the practice. Now everyone pay attention to yourself in the abdomen. This is called transmigration of consciousness, where you look at someone else's hand and they will feel your presence. Okay? Good. Now talk about it. What did the other feel this time? Back in a second. Okay, so good. All right. Yes.
She asked a question.
Ask your question.
Okay, so we both noticed that the hand that they got inside is lighter than the other hand. Why is that?
Like after the practice.
So this is not universal. This is not for everyone to feel. Proof of concept. Did everyone feel the focused hand lighter than the left hand lighter? No, not everyone, but some. Yeah, okay, so 2 groups. So you see, if it's not universal, it's not absolute, okay? But what matters here is we won't go into the deep practice, dudes. We won't go into the deep practice, but we'll say there's 8 different ways that you can feel the chi or the pressure of consciousness in this kind of technique. 8 different ways, okay? For some it's heat, wind, sometimes the emotion that pass, sometimes it's pressure, presence, itching, tingling, and lightness. Okay? So there's many ways to feel consciousness, and it's not absolute. So when it's new or when we have not done it for a long time, it comes out of one of those. It's very random. But when we are experienced, it always comes as presence. Oh, I just feel the presence. Because once you're experienced, all the reaction that our body has to chi has been spent, and now we're just used to it. Same like if you use the earth mantra. Some are hot, some are cold, some float off. I mean, not physically, but they feel like light. But after years, everyone feels present and grounded, because that's what the earth. Okay, so the first reaction, the superficial reaction to any kind of energy work, can be extremely different because it's the first surface reaction. But when it comes deep, everyone gets exactly the same. But that takes time. Okay. Good. So we're going to do another practice. This is the last one. Like I said earlier, I'm never offended when someone goes to the bathroom, as long as you don't disturb other go, because we have only one. And it's like, you're not interrupting class, so I'm cool. All right. So don't worry about that. All right. So you're going to focus on your partner. Okay. So now, number 2, you relax. Number 1, you look at the forehead. Number 2, you relax. If your eyes are closed, it's cool. If your eyes are open, it's cool. You just relax. So number 2 is relax. I forgot which one I just said. Number 2 is relax. 1 is focusing. All right. So number 2 is relax. Number 1, you're focusing on the forehead of number 2. And you think blue, 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 just blue. You're focusing on the forehead of the other, and you think blue. Blue. You see the color, imagine it, and your eyes are on it. So of course, number 2 that is being gazed upon feels something going on. But now number 1, you're going to switch to red right now. Red, bam, everything goes. Did you see the difference in feelings? All right, take a breath and talk about it. Did it make a change when the color changed in the focus? So, I just did number 2, relax. 1, focus. Now 2, focus. I just forget who did what. Because I'm doing both, so I'm lost. All right. That's pretty freaking cool, right?
Yes.
Because we use a practice like this, where we're a lot of people in the crowd, so that, like I said, I don't want to speak of how consciousness can affect reality and how you affect other people with your mind. I want us to do a practice that delivers an experience that can validate that shit is real. Because you can observe it and you can repeat the experience. And so many people around you say, yeah, I lived it too. There's 10% of people who have trouble feeling, or it's so new for them that it's normal. They don't get it. That's because you're normal. Okay? We're weird. Because no one does that. Like if everyone knew how consciousness affects others, we'd be mindful of it. But no one does that in society. But now we feel it. Why? Why are we so subtly sensitive? Because we accepted to feel like shit for 5 minutes. We accepted to feel an emotion. We accepted to feel about the heartbreak thing, the disappointment, the anger. And now we accept to feel, and now suddenly we start to feel all other things. Okay? Now, that was number 2, relaxing. Number 1, focusing. We're going to switch, okay? Number 1, you relax. Number 2, you're going to focus on the forehead. And you just imagine the color green. You focus on the forehead of your partner. The color's green. Just green. It's pretty liberating, actually. Green. You use your imagination. Whether you believe in it or not doesn't matter. If you look at someone with the focus of a color green in your gaze, in their forehead, they will feel it, because it's a fact that is measurable. And now in one shot you switch to orange. Bam, orange. Everything is orange. Ooh, what is the different sensation? What we wanted to provoke is the change of feeling. And we take a deep breath and relax, and we talk about it. Now, usually I do swastika also after the transmigration, because you look at yourself and you want to, every time you transmigrate, you want to come back to yourself. Now I'll do it with them just after the talk, because there's newbies I want them to share immediately, because they're getting excited about it, which is pretty cool, because it's a rare thing to do, transmigration. And then I'm going to have them do a bit of swastika and explain it. It's important to just be with yourself after every practice of transmigration. Now these newbies who were stuck and felt nothing, they're talking about what they felt, so it worked. I'm pretty happy about that. All right, good. They're super happy talking. All right, thank you so much. Next practice, after every transmigration, it's important to go back to yourself. I am within myself. You don't want to be out there and stay out there. I'm within myself. That's to be responsible. The practice you've just done, where you affect someone else with your consciousness, is called transmigration of consciousness. Come back to yourself. Be with you. I'm with me. Number 1 with number 1, number 2 with number 2. Just to center yourself on yourself. Thank you so much. Put the seats back in your place. Come back, and we're going to talk about what just happened.
So when they're in target or 29 plus. También es mi best friend.
No lo sé.
Yo también sé.
En 2016.
Like what, 3 years? 3 years?
Todas las otras cosas que hace, pero para mí
All right. We're back. Seats are good. We need air conditioning. Yes, it's a bit hot. All right. Okay. Okay, what the hell just happened? Okay. So, yeah, half of you have been doing that 100 times. Some of you, for you, it's very new. The idea that you look at someone and it actually affects them. When you're in a corner of the street, you feel observed. Sometimes you're paranoiac. But sometimes just turn around. It's actually someone looking at you. You felt it before. So we're using a natural mechanics that already exists anyway, and we just exploit it. And that's the beginning to the supernatural. And it's much more natural than we would think, because it's stuff we already do. Like, you feel a contact coming, like that person, you feel someone, and then they call. Because while they were dialing, they were thinking of you, and you start to catch that. These are things that happen, okay? So we already do, as humans, have these little intuitions because they're legit. So transmigration is a practice that I've built on the idea that we already do that. How can we amplify that phenomena and push it to mastery? And then you start to have revelations of what shit's going to happen. You pay attention to the streams of causality, which is something I'll explain, maybe in 5 years. But you pay attention to stuff, and you start to feel what's going on much more. And like I was saying this morning, if you follow your intuition, usually you don't realize it. But if you don't follow your intuition, shit happens. You go, oh, fuck, I felt it. I should have followed my intuition. Because usually this is so subtle, that information we have from consciousness, it is so subtle that we don't catch it until there's a strong contrast to reveal it. But once we're trained in feeling the streams of consciousness, when we're trained to follow that, we start to feel what is best, or like the best option for what you have in mind. And you start to follow your intuition and said, I had intuition, I felt it, I followed it, and it went well. And you still know that you follow your intuition. But usually, without training, you should have followed your intuition when you didn't, because the mess up contrasts so much with the real thing. Okay? That's usually what it is, even for advanced people, right? Still the case for us. Oh shit, I knew that. Like, it was clear, but I disregarded my karmic feelings, So when we speak of the supernatural in our tradition, the Buddhist tradition of the Maitreya, we're not losing our mind in some kind of fantasy. We want to validate and demonstrate through tangible experiences. Well, in this case, not so tangible, very subjective, but that we can repeat. And some of us have been repeating that for decades, and they're always still valid. Now, you see the change when your mind was on blue, red, or when it was green, yellow, like there's little, you can't really explain it, but there was a shift in how the pressure is applied. Because the mind thinks something else. Whatever we've associated to green is what we were projecting. So for you, green is the trees and breathing well, then you have all this freedom here. And orange is intensity of the sun, then you have, un poco de tiempo la playa, So it just depends on what you've associated to the pure color, and that's what you transmit. Okay? So for Japanese, the index is the finger of wind. For the Hindu, the index is the finger of fire. Why? Because in India, a forest fire is the most terrible force there is in nature. And for the Japanese, it's a hurricane. That is the finger of power. And then the element depends on your geographic situation, on your experience, on how. So that's why there's so many systems. The Chinese that have metal and wood in there, because it's a completely different way, but it doesn't matter. This is vacuity and grounding. This is power. This is wisdom. This is feeling, and this is intellect. My pinky told me it comes from the old times where the pinky is linked to intellectual processes. Okay? The ring finger, where we put the ring for anything highly emotional, usually a marriage, but it's anything highly emotional, it's the ring finger. It's the finger of feeling. Okay? Finger of the experience of that you felt. Okay, the major is gaining experience in life. Also called the heavens finger. So you point the heavens with your finger because you wish happiness to all beings, Just kidding. I love to tease around. Heavens to everyone. It's the heavens finger in India. You go, oh yeah, sure. And it's like, blessings to you. Yeah. And here it's like below. Like blessings to you. You like it, right? So, I'm just kidding. I was just looking at him, this not gay guy. Humor, I mean, it's good, right? We want to enjoy the ride, so I joke a bit. The transmigration we just done, for everyone, it was just a practice, just to reawaken that. Now we're going to chill on that. Tomorrow we do the other experience with affecting the roll of dice, showing you another way to affect reality, because this seminar's title is Alteration of Reality. How can you influence your life with your will? And the first thing is, you can't be in a reaction of pride, shame, or fear, because that's what prevents you from having any power to express. You're stuck inside you, and you want someone else to die instead of you taking responsibility for what you feel. So that's how it is. We good? Let's do a vocal breath, please. Okay. All right. Just one. Just to relax this. A little chi validation with your laser gun in your right hand. Like I look from the other side, it looks like this from the mirror. So from your right hand, shoot in your left. Use your imagination that you're shooting a stream of light and energy in your hand. And you go down. It's a continuous stream. Go down to the elbow and come back to the hand. So use your will, like, I want it. You have to be serious about it. And you're shooting chi. And when you're good, you switch to the other side. Just to feel you're shooting energy in your own hand. What does it feel like? But if you're just weakening your hand, it doesn't work. You need to be I'm pushing this. You need to see in your mind, feel in your guts, like want it. And you're shooting that laser into your hand so you can feel it. And like Ryan is there, yeah, I'm cool, and he's doing holes in the wall there. It's like, yeah, this is so cool. It's like a cone that went like that. So all the crowd on your right just got. Anyway, just saying. When you do it forever, focus on the hand. Focus on the hand. It was like, I'm shooting laser that way. It was funny. I kind of see it, not with my eyes, but I feel the streams of this. Because with time, you get to feel this consciousness moving, okay? So instead of being lost in some kind of hippie dream of use consciousness to affect reality, what does this even mean? Until you have an experience, you don't know what it means, okay? I used to have, not now, but in the past, I used to have people in temples just angry at me, revealing all the occult secrets that are supposed to be for the masters and the disciples and stuff. And I'm like, hey, let's do this in a hotel room. Yay. Let's do this right now. Because the Buddha, Sakyamuni, said, teach the esoteric and the exoteric alike. Like all the secrets. Just teach it. How arrogant is a teacher who keeps that wisdom from a student that needs it to be better in life? How arrogant are we to keep these things for prestige or whatnot? Doesn't matter. Make your life better. So yeah, we do cool stuff. We do personal growth, therapy on ourselves to get better, because that's important to get better in life. But once this is done, we've unlocked an old field of ourself. And you don't need to become a spiritual hippie to do that. You can just be a human that now has that experience, that wisdom. And yeah, we do look like spiritual hippies. That's because we do this kind of crazy stuff. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
That was fun. I like it. I do it all the time. Naturally, just streaming. Do we do this now? And everyone online is like, what is he talking about? Oh yeah, do it now. If Frank Jensen would be listening, maybe he would say, do it, Maha, do it. Questioning myself, do I do this? Okay, close your eyes. You know how you just focus on someone and just went in the hand? Okay, focus on your living room. So you're just imagining your living room. But now I want you to do something else. You're going to transmigrate into your living room like if you really were there. Just go in your living room and from a corner of the ceiling, look at your living room and see what happens. See what is revealed. And come back. Just that. It was as simple as that. If you have any ego in there, greed, or if you want to see someone naked or spy on their industrial secrets, it's not going to work. And you're going to block yourself. You're going to have too much arrogance because you must respect other people's privacy, for example. But this is how you're clairvoyant. This is how you practice. You just go somewhere and you look with transmigration. And after years, a real image will pop instead of just your imagination. For now, it's just you felt it. When I was in seminar missing my kids, I just went there in the living room, just feel them around. And in my mind, it was like, but it should be playtime, but they were all in the kitchen eating. Oh shit, I had not taken into account the time zone. But it was a time when they were eating. So I went to the living room, looked right, oh, they're all there. What the fuck? So this is an introduction to clairvoyance. Transmigration we just did with the hand. It starts there, but you need mantras, practice, purifying your denials to open up to the possibilities, you know. It's just for the hippies who really wanted to understand that thing about clairvoyance. This does not allow you to see in the past and the future. That allows you to see somewhere else. First, it's your imagination. But eventually, you get a flash, and it was not your imagination. And you can go into your living room because it's your living room. It's so easy. Why? Because you're already there. So me and Shivagam, when we're at a restaurant and we want to choose a bottle of wine, we look at the menu and we recite the names in our mind. And we taste the wines. And we check how it feels. Why? Because if it's on the menu, many people in that restaurant drank that wine. So the experience of that wine is rich as an experience that restaurant. So we taste every wine until we find the one we want. And we have a standard, Shivagan and me, is this one tastes better, but this one's better to digest because we care about how it's going to feel after if we share a bottle. So we go for that one, the digestible one. And we always do that. But you can do this. You can play with that. Like I'm trying to introduce you to the possibilities. Okay, you're not invading anyone's privacy. You're supposed to select a wine. All right, how does that taste? Oh yeah, there's this little nutty at the end, and there's not spicy because this one is like, it tastes like salami. It's disgusting. But there's some wines, if you just think salami, you'll take that wine and fuck shit. Yeah, it tastes like salami. Don't drink those wines. It's full of stuff. I'm kind of an amateur sommelier myself. I had to stop after ruining my liver, but I drank a lot of red wine, like a shit ton. And yeah, it is what it is. I wasn't always 51. And that's what I did. I checked the wine that was going to be the easiest on me. And we start to describe it and everything. And then the sommelier came and it's like, oh, you tasted that wine before? Yes, about 3 minutes ago. Looking at the menu. Just fuck with them. I was served wine by sommelier in Alicante. I said, you know your wine really well, right? You know this wine you've tasted. Okay, look at this. So just shake it. Now smell this one. It's a different wine. So I transmuted the wine in wine. I just shifted. It's not like the Jesus kind of thing, water wine. That's maybe too heavy. Never did it myself. Like it's not something I focus on. But alter the composition of the wine to make it more my style, my flavor. It's like, oh, this is not the same wine. Well, this is your cup. Just taste it. It's like, wow, this is freaking weird. What do you put something in it? No. You just served it in front of me, and all I did is move it. Oh, it's the heat for your hands. It's like, come on, you've heated cups all your life. You've never changed the taste of wine. It's like, but what is that? It's like, I just did alchemy on it, man. It's like, this is freaking cool. That was weird. Anyway, did that a few times. It's just, sommelier flips them out. That's kind of crazy. Anyway. I shouldn't do this in public, but when I'm already half drunk, I don't really think about these kind of things. I'm so happy sober. Like, I knew I was not alcoholic because when I stopped flush at what I didn't have any need. It was like I was drinking for the pure pleasure of it and how to handle a bit of stress because I had stress in life. But I knew I was not alcoholic because when I stopped, I just stopped. There was no withdrawal. I had stronger withdrawal with caffeine when I stopped coffee every day. This is decaf, like coffee, but take it like this. Because we're not 20 anymore, right? Take a coffee and your heart starts to skip beats and shit. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Oh, this great master with power, yeah, is gonna die of a sickness one day. Look, we're human. You have to stay feet on the ground and not fly off into some kind of fantasy when you start to have funky stuff happen, like transmigration. It's just the normal intuition we have already, all humans. A few gray people deny it, like, the intuition is bullshit, for dreamers. But most of us have it. And we just use that and push it to an extreme. It's like, oh, now we can explain the mechanics behind it. How does it actually work? And once we understand the mechanics of transmigration and intuition, we can apply it to different things. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it is what it is. What time is it?
4 p.m.
Let's take 10. See you in 10 minutes, bros.